life-altering experience.
Yeah?
Because I saw there was no one...
Well, what do you... Is it their imagination? First of all, do you think it's their imagination? And can somebody's wild imagination actually create this?
You know, something's happening now, Daniel. Something's happening. In this particular house, the entity was so violent, it knocked the hinges off the door and lifted all of us into the air and then dropped us.
Whoa.
There was no one explanation. There's no one explanation for this haunting, this phenomena that we broadly call haunting, that we broadly call ghosts, I mean, there are just so many.
What about this idea that
and I saw that a figure had come out of the wall. Now, I knew whatever it was shouldn't have been here in the cellar with me. And through the shock and the terror of seeing this, I just stepped back up the ladder.
I was happy to walk across the opposite side of the road. And I said to my husband, oh look, there's the Roman ghost. My husband saw him as well. Then when we turned round, came back, he just completely disappeared.
Do you believe in ghosts? The possibility of a separate reality? An extension beyond our own physical awareness? There is no doubt, even in this prosaic age, people do indeed experience phenomena that bend the parameters of time, the laws of science, and our own human understanding. Since the beginning of civilization, the testimonies of those who experience paranormal phenomena are overwhelming. Scientific study into anomalous activity categorizes the haunting and ghost phenomena into separate divisions, from residual impressions recorded in a time and place to the violent psychic disturbance of poltergeist activity. Damien O'Dell, founder of the Anglia Paranormal Investigation Society, deals with these various types of hauntings and disturbances. His group, founded in 2003, has investigated many haunted locations in an attempt to record and understand strange activity reported by witnesses. During a recent investigation by Damien and his team, they spent the night at the George Hotel in Silsoe, Bedfordshire, in an attempt to catch a glimpse of the Grey Lady, a ghost said to be resident in the building. Testimonies of visitors claim to see the Grey Lady that haunts room 3 of the hotel, and has also been seen floating across the first floor landing. During the investigation, this startling image was captured. Is it possible that this picture is a snapshot of the Grey Lady herself? A location also resident to a baffling array of phenomena is Henrick's salon, located in Royston, Bedfordshire. Claims of activity correspond with the classic signs of a poltergeist disturbance, and former owners of the building have reported objects floating off shelves, mirrors and pictures flying off walls, and strange shadow figures appearing from nowhere. The Anglia Paranormal Group investigated the strange disturbances at Henrick's saloon, gaining interest from the local media. The team of 12 spent a night in the building, with our camera crew following the events that unfolded. In preparation for the night's vigil, the team arrive equipped with all the technology required in an attempt to capture any of the strange phenomena witnesses have reported during their time in the building. This includes locked-off cameras, electromagnetic field sensors, and a spiritual medium who has the ability to tune into the location's energy and guide areas of the investigation.
me this is an anniversary because I first came to Henrick's about 5 years ago, and I wanted to determine really whether it was still active, psychically active, and the evidence all seems to point that way. Having briefly spoken with the staff that work here at Henrick's, they tell me that unexplained things are still continuing to happen. A general sort of consensus seems to be that there was somebody that lived here hundreds of years ago whose presence is still felt, and many psychics have picked up the fact that this person was outside the law, and that before the law could close in on him, he took his own life, and he seems to me the main protagonist, if you like, that's visiting the building again from time to time.
The vigil of Henrick's salon begins at 9:30 p.m. The attic being the main focus of the investigation because of the paranormal activity unfolding within the room, witnessed by various clients and staff.
We're up here in the attic, which is, I think this is probably the most active part of the building, but well, let's Andrew sort of calm down and just see if you pick up anything here.
Okay. My role here at Henrick's tonight is as a medium, intuitive and psychic. I'm here to try and pick up on any spirit energies that might be in the location of this place. Also, I'll get psychic impressions and kind of the intuition side of how I feel about this place, how it was once used, what might be going on here. I do feel to say from a mediumistic point of view, I'm picking up on a lady here, positive energy with this one. She feels like she cares for people or wants to really look after people. I get more of a happy feeling in this particular part of the building. In terms of what she looks like, she almost looks like she's kind of in a maybe Victorian era kind of maid's outfit, but instead of black and white, it's more of a dark grey and white. And I'm seeing like a pinny and like some kind of headdress. I feel quite elderly in her years, and it feels like she would have looked after people or looked after somebody who lived here. Okay, right, this is what I'm getting with this. I feel the person that she looked after was quite a well-established gentleman who lived here, so it must have been like a residential place, like a private home at one point, and I feel he was quite high up or quite well respected. And I'm seeing him in his elderly years. Hearing that as well.
Is that you? No, it's right behind me.
So anyway, this guy, I feel he is possibly aristocracy or well respected, could be like town mayor, I don't know, something like that. But he is being looked after by this lady who's like a maid stroke servant. Good relationship there. She enjoys her work, she enjoys being with him. I'll tell you the kind of like feeling I get when I'm up here. It's like I'm on the run from the law. I want to hide from somebody.
Oh, that's terrific.
And I don't want to get caught.
Just down that end of the room.
Where are you hiding?
And I'm looking out the windows and I'm thinking, God, I hope they don't come. I hope they're not looking for me because I know that I'm going to hang for this. If you're here, gentlemen or maid, or whoever's around, can you tap 3 times? Two more, please. That was absolutely astounding. A psychic is like a video recorder or video player, and they're kind of like tuning in and playing on things that have happened in the past. I'm seeing a lot of the roof caved in, or a lot of the tiles. It's basically, I'm in a room somewhere in this building and I'm looking up and there's just sky and there's just beams where the roof should be, but it's empty. And I think there was either fire or kind of like the roof caved in at one point.
Well, we try to be as scientific as possible. We do have an open mind about psychic mediums. That's why we're happy to work with them, because we feel that it's best to explore using every method available to us, and people that are psychically gifted is just another way of investigating. But it's particularly interesting if we can corroborate what sensitives pick up with maybe more tangible proof that we can, if we can capture it on film or on tape, or just with our ordinary 5 senses. When I investigated it for the first time, it would be about 4 or 5 years ago. There were a lot of psychic folk with us, with varying degrees of ability. They all got somebody on the run from the law, which Andy very quickly latched onto. He had a feeling his heart was racing, as though the net was closing in and this person was going to get hanged. What most people have picked up in the past is this guy killed himself before. He was due to be hanged. They reckon he was a leader of a gang of cutthroats. And he literally cut his own throat at the end to escape the law. You picked up as soon as you came in that the layout was completely changed, well, that would be right. Interestingly, there was no evidence of hauntings here until it got converted into a ladies' hairdressers. Now, what the other psychics, as a group, they all felt this, was that it kind of brought him to life again, because he hated women, this George Armitage, or whatever you want to call him. Absolutely hated and detested women, and he couldn't understand why all these women were here with money and, you know, enjoying themselves and spending in his house. That was the feeling, that kind of a group feeling. So I remember there was another couple of psychics I was working with, and there'd been a fire. There was certain there'd been a fire. You got a fire and the roof open. So yeah, they picked up that there was a fire in the attics, and maybe servants died, or it was pretty horrendous anyway, they reckon.
During the investigation, various team members had several experiences while the night's vigil took place. Unexplained high electromagnetic fields were detected in several areas of the building, and the camera crew reported icy cold spots spontaneously appearing and dissolving in separate rooms. These unnatural temperature fluctuations were backed up by sensitive temperature thermometers placed throughout the building. High electromagnetic field readings and cold spots indicate to investigators that a possible manifestation of a ghost is taking place. As in many cases, these strange readings are the first stage of paranormal activity, as the manifestation process is thought to draw the energy from the surrounding atmosphere. Physical poltergeist activity had also been witnessed in the attic, but unfortunately the phenomena had not been captured on camera.
There's a lot of misperception and people reporting ghosts when really there's a natural explanation. But I think a lot of them are earthbound spirits. Poltergeists, I think we're probably wrong to say that they are at the subconscious of the human mind, but I still think there are spirits behind them. I think the spirits realise who they home in upon a disturbed mind, somebody who's emotionally disturbed, and in some way use it to produce phenomena.
Thanks, Mike. Rob, are you in place?
Yes, okay.
Could you maybe show us a sign, or tap somewhere, or move something?
We've had some strange things happen tonight. We weren't in the building long before a picture fell off the wall. We had a display stand fell down in the attic area, which happened to two different watches, and it happened while I was there, and it came down with quite a bang actually, and woke us all up thoroughly, to such an extent it cracked the display the piece that was affected.
We heard it move slightly twice and then it fell off the table. You could say it was vibrations, but then it's been there all day and it hadn't fallen off until we arrived, and I understand that happened the second time, so that's pretty significant.
What we've heard and seen tonight, it gives rise to the fact that there is still activity going on here. It is still an active building and still very much worth investigating, and I think it will be many years before this kind of activity stops.
That night's investigation produced some strange activity and personal experiences. But can we say for sure if this building is haunted by a past resident from hundreds of years ago? A poltergeist or psychic disturbance? Or are the phenomena in the building a natural occurrence produced by a science we are yet to understand? Whatever the belief about such paranormal activity, one thing is for sure: these are very real experiences that are taking place. Henrick's salon is one example of the many thousands of haunts across the world, and with all the scientific knowledge and technology available, the cause of the phenomena is yet to be identified. And tomorrow a new haunting could arise and eclipse everything we think we understand of hauntings, ghosts and paranormal disturbances. All in all, the physical perception we have of this world of ours may have strange and possibly terrifying holes, and the understanding we have of life and existence may not be exactly as it seems.